Coffee Show, we'd be talking a lot about Omicron and stuff that's been happening recently. Obviously, I don't know if we said it last time on the podcast, but man got hit by the Omicron thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You got caught slipping as well.
So you as well, Dovi?
No, I've only had it the one time.
The one time, okay.
Yeah.
So
we
I
had
got
Delta
hit
in
by
it.
the Omicron.
Yeah,
You
I
man
was
on
the
a Delta
stronger.
thing.
You had the easy one, bro.
Bro, my thing was so easy. For a second there, I was thinking, oh, the anti-vaxxers, right? It was so easy. I started to question it. I was like, yo, this thing will be hiding from this whole time.
Did you bother doing a test to find out the variant?
Yeah. I
Did
knew
you find out
100%
the variant?
it was Omicron, bro.
Okay.
That shit was spreading like wildfire.
That's funny.
Everyone I knew was getting it. Everyone I knew was getting it. And bro, I swear to God, I woke up in the morning with a sore throat, and then I was coughing halfway through the day. Next day, the sore throat was still there, but I was coughing a bit more. Third day, I was back out. Back normal.
Back outside, hugging people again.
Bro, I was coughing. I was just there hugging people, kissing people on the streets. I was like, bro, I'm back again. Nah, I'm joking.
On day 3.
Biological terrorism.
I'll be on the Sun newspaper, bro, as a as a super spreader.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the Omicron thing didn't need no super spreader. It was spreading by itself.
It is a super
from
spreader.
what we
Omicron
saw-
is a super spreader.
It is a super spreader. And from what we saw, everyone I knew, London, everyone I knew was getting hit. Like across the board, that people people couldn't work. A lot of people missed out on like Christmas holidays and stuff, seeing family because they couldn't go anywhere. I went to a party. Everyone got 10 out of 10. Everyone got the thing. Everyone. Obviously, I didn't go to the party while I had Omicron. Obviously, this is where I caught it, I think. But yeah, so.
Do you want to know the numbers, bro? So UK yesterday reported 218,000 new cases.
Mashallah.
The USA 567,000.
Mashallah.
Yeah,
but you know, positive
Shout out
cases
Maria, by the way.
doesn't mean illness, though. It doesn't mean illness. It just means like positive cases, isn't it?
Yeah.
Half of that is at least asymptomatic. At least half of that number. At least half.
Oh, but then you would report it.
You
Like,
wouldn't
I'm not
test
included
it.
in my number.
Yeah, exactly. Even me, who even got it, is not included, bro.
The numbers. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. I'm not even included because I did the lateral flow. I didn't even report it. I was like,
True,
I know
true,
I got it. I might as well just chill.
But
But,
you might be bare more than they report.
Yeah, a lot more numbers, I reckon.
Yeah.
But what it looked like is it was, as I said, it was a lot milder across the board, so a lot less hospitalizations. But what these guys were worried about was that because the number of infections was going so high, that even in the mild cases, even though we don't have that many cases, the cases that we do have and the hospitalizations that we do have will fill up the beds. Luckily, we still haven't seen that, but they're saying in the coming weeks it might get worse. We'll see. Numbers-wise, it looks good. I'm thinking Omicron is going to be our exit. Low, very mild, high transmission.
Before that's the final transform, the final boss.
I'm hoping this is the final boss. The final boss, to be honest, in the COVID, the final boss is the easy guy. You know what I mean? You want it to be mild, spread quick, do herd immunity, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, did Boris do another announcement today?
They did do another what's it called? Another one called
he goes. He was like, my guy was like, we ain't gonna do shit. He was like, no. He was like, literally, he was like, we're just gonna ride it out.
It's too late. We're too deep.
Like, bro, we can't do no more lockdowns. We can just ride it out.
But remember, this guy from the beginning, Boris wanted to ride it out from the very beginning. Remember,
this guy was ready to ride it out from the get-go. I rate him for that, though. He was gonna kill off bare people, but he was ready to ride it out. But so it was mad, and then we had now a lot of people have been coming out speaking about COVID. Have you guys seen the new Joe Rogan podcast where we've this guy called Robert Malone, Dr. Robert Malone, who came on and spoke about COVID-19 in general, and this guy is he was one of the founding inventors of the mRNA technology that then led to the COVID vaccine. A lot of people would like to dispute the fact that he invented the vaccine, because I did some research on this guy, because when anyone tries to claim you invented something or you've done this and done that, I was like,
the Bitcoin guy,
I was like, let me research this guy. And bro, as I was researching it, they kept saying, "Ah, he's not the guy who invented it. He's not the guy who invented it." Then finally, I was able to find a journal on Nature. Nature is one of the most respected publications out there. So what they said was the reason a lot of is all semantics. Everyone takes from different areas different things. So he took the mRNA. Someone discovered that, for example. He's been obviously every scientist is basing his work of other scientists, but so that's why they're not calling him an inventor, because they're saying across the board, many people have worked overtime to get to the COVID vaccines that we have today, which is true. But however, what they did actually admit to, and what a lot of people are now understanding, is that he was the person who did two landmark experiments that came up with the idea to use mRNA to create vaccines and use it as a drug and to deliver the vaccine. So whether people decide that that's enough to consider them an inventor of that technology or not, that's up to them. It's all semantics. But fact checkers, I've noticed, and other places, websites, are using the semantics to discredit this guy in general, which is whether you want to believe or whatever, he's an inventor. He's worked in the field and has landmark.
But based on your research so far, you would say he played a significant role. Yeah, you would say definitely at least that. Come.
Yeah, exactly. So because he's had the landmark of
The expertise,
experiments, expertise. Then if you look at his other accreditations, he's got loads of publications, nearly 12,000 citations on some of his papers, which is some of the best. So this guy is one of the most qualified people. If you look across the board, that speaks on this. That hasn't been working for pharma or hasn't got any kind of interest in any of this stuff.
He's not making P out of it, basically.
Exactly. Right. He's not making money out of it. So when he came on, the reason he recently came on to the Joe Rogan podcast was because his Twitter got banned for spreading COVID misinformation. So you're wondering, okay, how can someone so qualified be spreading around COVID misinformation? Well, the thing is, misinformation is anything that's not really in line to all of the large bodies that are currently dictating the world health position regarding
if you deviate from the status quo, you're basically saying misinformation.
Exactly. And now if you think about it, actually, let's say, for example, he's saying things that are very granular, very scientific, some stuff that will go over a majority of our heads. And even us who've got degrees and stuff and work in tech or whatever, for us it will go over our heads. So the average layman person who's working in Twitter in their moderation team, who's checking using fact checkers or just themselves having to check if this person's doing for spreading misinformation, is not going to understand it, and as soon as he deviates, you're going to get banned for it. And that's been the major issue across the board throughout COVID-19. Experts are not being able to speak on the subject, especially when they deviate from what the status quo is kind of saying, because what happens is they clearly the moderators are unable to understand what the expertise are saying, and they rather just ban that and kind of err on the safe side. It makes sense.
How they fact check? Is it just like they have to Google stuff as they're watching it?
As they're reading the tweets, they're just sitting there like, bro, it's your boy down the road here. He works as a Twitter moderator. Okay, gets paid £30 an hour. He's just sitting there like giggling shit like this.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And you know what? Crazy. At times, they only ever Google and see this only when you appeal it. Because usually a bot takes you down anyway. It's not like they can sit there and appeal, check every fucking tweet.
And you know how the appeal works as well. You have to admit you were wrong.
The appeal is peak. You can't use your account unless you admit you're wrong, so you can get back onto your account. And then if you admit you're wrong, you ain't allowed to appeal. And if you want to appeal, it takes 2 weeks minimum for someone to come and check that appeal. So and if your ban is a week, you might as well just accept the punishment, even though you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, last time I got banned, I got banned recently. Fam, I appealed that shit. And I waited. This time I was like, listen, I got 2 accounts now. I had the less shit one. I was like, you get me this time. And they finally actually unbanned me. So it was good. But yeah, so it just shows you in a sense that the system that the Twitter and Facebook, simply due to the size and the number of content being uploaded on a daily basis, is inadequate, really. And then what happens is it makes other people distrustful of these experts, even if what they're saying. So this guy mainly is not really advocating against COVID-19 vaccines in general. He's mostly advocating on the fact that we follow the procedures correctly, that we have informed consent, and there's something I think everyone kind of agrees with. But if your informed consent means, what does informed consent mean? Telling the benefits of COVID-19 vaccine as well as the negatives and what possible risks there are. Fam, when I was doing my operation, there's like a list of risks, possible bare risks, and obviously most of them are really really rare, but they're gonna have the massive list. Paracetamol, even all these other. Have you seen those American adverts where they're just stating 1,000 different side effects? You know what I mean?
Under their mouth, like, yeah, so it's really great, it's super effective, it's amazing, it's the best drug ever, and you might just you might get cancer, you might die, you might.
And then it's like it may cause death. And sometimes I found, I swear there was like a Nurofen type one, bro. And they're like may cause headaches. I'm thinking this is the full headaches. I think that's so they don't get sued, but also it's just funny.
Yeah.
But I just find it funny. But yeah, it's like. So he's in similar because him saying any side effect that is not corresponding to the current side effects that they have known immediately is considered misinformation. And you know what they call it? Vaccine hesitancy. We've heard about this vaccine hesitancy. We've seen it so many times, spreading vaccine hesitancy. But what does that mean? Anything negative at all regarding the vaccine is hesitancy. You are actively. So this is something I was thinking to myself. I was like, yeah, and if this is the most qualified people we have right now, and he's actively being silenced, I'm thinking, what fuckery's been going on in the background, bro?
Yeah, he did mention a bunch of it, though. He did mention like a bunch of the different frauds that occurred within Pfizer, fraud that occurred between this other Moderna. It's like all of them have got a history of fraud, like a straight up billions of dollars worth of fraud history. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's true. Some of the biggest ones that we've all just accepted was the fact that people will get shot in the head and they'll quickly stick a little COVID-19 swab in their nose and write it down as COVID. But we knew this. Like we're acting like none of us knew this, but we knew this. But we just accepted it. It's mad, you know. We simply just accepted that one. We was like, yeah, it's a bit mad that they're doing that. So we just kind of brushed it. We was like, all right, cool. So the numbers were kind of skewed. We understood that. But even he said this. He admitted that although the numbers are skewed, we're hoping that because it's such a large base of data, that kind of anomalies will just kind of average out.
Yeah, you'll find some stuff in the meta-analysis or something like that.
But then we find out, why were they doing this? Because hospitals in the US were getting paid more to have COVID-19 patients. It made sense for you to stop that guy. Actively, it made sense. And this is something this is something that people talk about from the beginning. I knew this from the beginning that they were doing this, but we just accepted these kind of things. It's just like
these numbers. They're fucking playing games with the numbers, bro. It's mockery.
And then the same numbers they're using to
justify the actions.
Legislation, exactly. So then, are you taking a piss, bro?
Did you see the part where he like actually spoke about the original clinical study that Pfizer like used to justify emergency use of the vaccine itself?
No.
What?
Yeah, so the actual original
the initial one.
Clinical study, like even that had lots of confounding variables, a lot of trickery and stuff like that. The original clinical study that I even allowed it, I was just like, rah.
Nah, see, and like, and the one interesting thing he mentioned was he mentioned this thing called mass psychosis. So I wanted to kind of look into what mass psychosis was.
Did you Google it?
I googled it. I was really up on it. And I was kind of just trying to see what this mass psychosis thing was that he was speaking about. And then, so when I looked into it, it was quite interesting because it directly tied to the social media stuff that we were speaking about in a few podcasts ago regarding the fact that, you know, the divisiveness, the fact that they're pitting two sides together, is all groups, and people just, it's all emotional. There's no rationale. Nobody's been able to talk or speak to each other in any way. And there's so much confusion, misinformation. You don't know what's truth, what's lies. And this is something he spoke about. Experts no longer are considered experts. Everyone believes they're the expert themselves. It's crazy. And even sometimes I'm looking at this thinking, bro, am I in this mass psychosis thing? Like, am I one of those people who've been hit by unknowingly, because this is all kind of unknowingly, and psychologically that you get hit by this kind of things, where no matter what side it is, you've stuck to a side. No matter what, you'll be fighting for that side to the end.
Mm-mm.
And it's
Like a
that left
maxi.
versus right. That maxi or not maxi is that. It's just once you decide you're like on one side, you're gonna fight for it forever, which is
Yeah.
mad. Which is mad. I'm thinking, have I been hit by the same thing? Possibly. You never know. So, but obviously, the fact you're able to question that and is a good sign.
But when you first Googled it, did you see what happened? Because I went on Google and I typed it, and it said like gave me some message like, "We haven't got reliable sources about this information yet." So it's,
Really, no
yeah,
way.
like, let me try what happens. Let me see what happens now. I'm gonna try it now. But before it was like, sorry, we don't have reliable sources about this information yet. And I tried on DuckDuckGo.
That's so suspect because Google are the ones who are actively doing this as well.
Yeah.
Like
What's it
so,
called?
there's
Mass,
the social media, mass
what's the word? Mass
psychosis.
formation,
No,
psychosis.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's just mass psychosis. From
No, I've got bad like things on Google for it. Maybe it's because you're in Sweden. I don't know.
No, this was just like the very first, like right after Joe Rogan's podcast, like right after it wasn't working. But then like the next day it was fine. Like
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
I think it was trending.
DDoS.
Actually,
I think it was just too much spam, like too much traffic. or
yeah,
something.
it was trending everywhere because that's how I found out about this podcast, and I was like, all right, let me listen and see what this guy's talking about.
Yeah.
And then even the guy, there was a Peter McCulling or whatever his name was. And if you go on these guys' Wikipedia pages, these guys, some of the most, they have no ethical issues ever against their name. They have no such, they've been 30 to 40 years in this area, ran hundreds of clinical trials. There are no cleaner people. Like, if these guys are not experts here and at the top of their field, nobody is, bro. Nobody is. We got no chance for anybody. So then I look at it, and even on the Wikipedia, it says known to be spreading COVID misinformation.
No, you're lying.
On their Wikipedia, bro. I'm just like, so, and then people automatically, once they read this, if you look at the fact checkers, the fact checkers across the board wipe them down as COVID-19 misinformation spreading, COVID hesitancy. And so you immediately think, okay, let me just, write this person off. But then I was thinking, okay, let me look more into their credentials and see who they are. And once I started to do that, I started thinking, this guy, who's more qualified than who then? Who am I going to listen to? Because the only
You're
guys,
right. Oh shit! It says promoting misinformation. Oh shit!
You see, both of them, and these guys are doctors who are.
It's the first second line. Oh shit!
Imagine you work so long for your career, and someone just updates Wikipedia to say.
Bro. Actually, funny enough, I watched on YouTube. There's a channel called Unheard with an E, not a HAEA. It's just HERD. Unheard, and he had like the co-founder of Wikipedia, and he jumped on and he was just like saying, he was like, "Yo, Wikipedia is gone, fam. It's controlled by some people, fam. It's fucked. Wikipedia's fucked."
Really?
I heard about a video.
I'm exaggerating. But he was saying
I remember a specific video, and people kind of talk about Wikipedia can be a bit suspect. Well, to be honest,
we all remember back in school we were editing the.
They were telling us, yeah, bro, stay the fuck away from that. But to be honest, at the time, if you think about it, it was actually quite it was quite good. But what you thought, most of this information was really like accurate.
Still most of the information like is still on point, like generally speaking.
It's still on point. And I remember them being like, oh, don't use it. But whatever they provided always was some dead thing anyway. So
yeah, years old.
You know what I'm saying? But yes.
But yeah, you're shocked. I'm shocked, fam. I didn't even know about this Wikipedia shit. I didn't know about that. This is insane.
So the crazy thing, and then he was talking actually on the podcast, which is even more interesting, was that he was talking about articles that were defaming him.
Oh, I read that one. I read it, the whole thing. And I read everything on that one. Yeah, I read that one. That guy was a baby. He was so annoying to read.
Yeah, I know. He's so jarring. Bro, so the people were I'm talking about blatant lies. Like, even to where he went to school, what work he's done. Like, direct lies that they just print. And this is on the top of your Google search. So when you Google your name, that guy comes first. So
reputable,
it was from the Atlantic, I think. You're talking about that one, sorry.
Atlantic's reputable, exactly. They're very big. So then you think exactly. So then you think to yourself, yeah. We got Joanne saying, "I'm a bitten bot." Maria gassing it up. And we got the actual bots here.
Oh, where did he come from?
The Russians are here, bro.
I swear, if you say Maloney or not Robert Malone, or you say like McCullough, the bots are coming straight.
They're coming. The Russians are here. The Russians are here. Trying to back it though. These Russians are back it. Anything I had to go.
Yeah. Press like and subscribe. The bots. Press like and
bots,
Yeah,
like
fuck it,
us,
we'll
grab this
take
one.
him.
We'll take you guys today. But yeah, I was like, so these articles come up first, hard to get off Google searches and all this stuff. So now your online persona has been degraded quite far. Overall.
Yeah, they tried to attack his license, didn't they?
They tried to attack politically. They tried to attack his license. They got him off LinkedIn. LinkedIn, he got reinstated. They got him off again. He got reinstated.
Yeah.
Twitter, they got him off.
He jumped on
Google.
Get Here. Is it called Get Here? Getter? As a new social media. Joe Rogan jumped on it as well. Now Joe Rogan has more followers on that one than he does on Twitter. Crazy.
That's mad,
okay.
you know. But yeah, so then you have all of these places that can collude and make it gives an air of don't trust this person, you know. If someone Google your name, because what's the first thing you did when you saw this guy? You Googled his name. All I saw was don't trust him, don't trust him, don't trust him. The further I went and the deeper I went, I started to realize, what? If you can't trust him, bro, who am I gonna trust? The only guys you guys ever gave me was Chris Whitley, the UK guy, Anthony Fauci, the American guy. That's the only two guys I know. So those, how are you not gonna give me any other options except for the guys who are right at the forefront?
Can you not go after them for defamation though? Isn't that just like
there's a lot of money in it? I don't know.
It's a long process. It takes time, and
it's a lot of money at the end of the tunnel though. Hopefully,
yeah, maybe.
You hope so, but you know how lawsuits are. So sometimes it's just and what you go after the first guy. You spend bare money on that. As you're going after the first guy, another guy comes and drops another article on you. Another guy drops another article on you.
Must be exhausting, yeah.
Yeah, you can't sue everybody in one go. You know
his wife won on a mad one against the Atlantic guy. Really? The guy who wrote the Atlantic article, his wife wrote like a 16-page letter, like telling him like you're so dumb, you don't know that you're so angry. Like I'm gonna tell you the facts. These are the real facts.
But that's the thing is, he doesn't even care. He's in fact. You writing that 16-page article just added more clicks into his article.
Yeah,
clickbait in majority of the time. This is how they make their money. Is clickbait.
Media got out of hand, really.
It has, and it's so easy to discredit someone if you feel like discrediting them, and if they're not within the normal standards. So what I'm wondering is, over time, no one is listening to the experts anymore. Everyone's some armchair scientist.
Where's my armchair?
Yeah. So I'm like, what are we doing here? And then it gets even crazier because one thing that was quite interesting was, again, every time this guy was saying anything, I'm Googling this immediately because I don't believe him. Yeah, I'm doing my own fact checking, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So he made claims that Pfizer, directors on the board of Pfizer are also the directors on Thomson Reuters, which is the fact checkers of Twitter.
Yeah. They got like money there, basically.
So there's a clear conflict of interest there. Yeah. Like there's such a clear, like you can't have the guys on the fact checking websites being of directors of other companies. If they're directors of other companies, then they have a direct conflict of interest. Anything that person's company is under, they're gonna tell you the facts around it. The facts.
They also have a stake in Twitter as well. The same company. I forgot what it was though. I remember. Yeah.
And the fact that fact checkers themselves are some sort of companies. Are they companies? They must not.
Yeah, like they're usually from like Microsoft or something. For example, with LinkedIn, it's Microsoft because they own LinkedIn. So
the fact checkers are owned by companies, which is
they work for Microsoft. Fact checkers work for Microsoft on LinkedIn anyway. I don't know for Twitter, but for LinkedIn, I know it's Microsoft.
So now imagine this. Now imagine this. Microsoft, Google, Facebook. They only have the way we speak, but they also have the truth. They have paid for and bought the truth because they're the fact checkers. If you own the fact checkers, you're the one who's denial because everyone's like, fact check this.
Bro, on Twitter, why does it say fact checkers say and that's it?
That's it. That's all he says every time I see on Twitter. And to be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Instinctively, I believe them. I'm like, yeah.
Come on,
the fact checkers be saying that, I think, but then recently, I just be thinking, bro, who are these fact checkers? Who are these fact checkers, bro?
Quite well, though. The fact checkers, they did start off quite well. They start off nicely. Like, remember, there's another website called Snopes.
Yeah, I
And
heard about that. Yeah, I remember that one.
this website, they started off quite nicely. Like they were on point for quite a while. And
Because
then they started
sometimes
to be
it
like,
looks
hey,
like,
we can just dash it.
bro, you know what you clock. Sometimes they have like both sides of the argument. Like they'll show you a little bit of this side and a little bit of that side.
Yeah, the
But at the
Atlantic,
end,
for example, same thing. At the very end, the last two paragraphs, he
yeah,
jumped like the other side.
yeah. But then they'll come to their conclusion at the end. So you think, oh, they must have like actually. You feel like that they looked at both sides, so it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you know, that's what I'm saying. It's actually crazy, bro. I actually can't believe
Oh,
what
I'm
was been
dying.
happening.
Oh. But yeah,
But
that's I don't know, that's mad. I don't know. I watched the whole thing. It was 3 hours. I'm not gonna lie. I had already like read a bunch of stuff already from him. Interestingly enough, I bumped into him on Twitter, but I didn't follow him. I didn't know if he was like even you. I was a bit skeptical. I was like, who's this guy? He looks a bit too clean, too smooth. You
it's
know,
risky, innit?
yeah, risky, like too charming. You know what I mean? Swag's always on point. What's going on here? But then, yeah, I looked at the credentials and I was like, right, it's actually looking a bit mad.
I honestly like what more like if I had to ask for more credentials, like what else am I there to ask for? Would you want me to ask?
Like he would have to literally not only invent like the part that he did, but invent every other part at the same time.
at the same time and have done the Pfizer vaccine himself? Like
Well, he
at
actually.
that point,
Oh, you mean sorry? No, you meant create
he did
it
the
himself.
technology,
Sorry.
yeah, but he didn't actually create the vaccine himself. So,
Mm.
so the only other guys that are left are the guys who create the Pfizer vaccine. If they come out on a dissenting thing, then I'll be like, all right, this is hella mad. But they're not gonna do that because they work for the guys. That's their shit. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna go fuck your own shit up. So one step below them is this guy. Well, who else is there left, bro? Who else is there left?
There's literally no one, man. And right now, I don't know about you guys if you've been watching. Like my Twitter is kind of been. I've seen the fireworks that's been going on around Europe and shit. Like even LA. Like
Fireworks.
you know, 'cause we just had New Year's. Obviously, we haven't seen each other since New Year's and stuff.
Are they shooting fireworks at each other?
Right, so basically, it was banned. Bunch of cities and bunch of different like states banned like fireworks. They were like, yeah, not allowed to do fireworks because of like COVID. Everyone was like, what? And then
London did that. London didn't even do the you know the every day they do the was it the fireworks?
countdown. Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't do it.
we didn't cancel that as
They
well.
had drones. I think they had drones and shit, didn't they? On TV at least. I
Maybe
don't know
the
if they
I
recorded
don't know
it.
what they had, but for what? What for COVID?
Either way, it wasn't the New Year's we were expecting. We were expecting fireworks and crazy shit, and they were like, nah, COVID, fam.
You know when you want to save money, but you have to use an excuse. COVID, bro. It's just COVID.
So yeah, I just was like
have that.
fireworks
We have
everywhere, like in LA, like they were just flying. It was like a fine. You're supposed to get fined if you do it, and nobody give a fuck. They were just flying fireworks, bro. Even over here, I had a recording of myself for like the whole fucking this whole place. There's no one. It's empty. But why is everyone shooting fireworks? I don't know, man. It was going crazy. It was lit. I was
Oh,
gassed.
damn, okay. Yeah.
But then with all this, obviously we talked about the botched data and stuff like that. But then we've seen Omicron be spreading in South Africa. They from the beginning were like, "You man need to chill. Why are you guys all panicking? Germany locking down. These guys locking down. They're like, listen, you man need to chill. It's high cases, but we're not seeing hospitalizations, and we're not even vaccinated. These guys are not even. Like,
Oh,
they're
really?
nowhere near- South Africa.
I guess they
nowhere
wouldn't be
near
near
as
us. Yeah.
In
They're
Africa, in
nowhere-
general, I think.
Yeah, they're nowhere near as vaccinated as, let's say, Germany and all these other countries.
UK, yeah.
UK. So then they're like, you guys need to chill. Shout out, Dr. John Campbell. That is a big shout out, guys. If you want unbiased fucking videos, hit up Dr. John Campbell for my shit, bro. The truth. He's actually quite good because all he does is he gets the papers, dissects it for you, he logs off.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
It's like TLDR sort of thing.
he just
Pretty
teaches you
much.
what's staying on the paper. That's
Okay.
it. He doesn't say nothing else to you, and he explains what's going on, and that's it. And he's just giving you facts, and he just logs off.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't go
what I
into
really like.
politics, nothing that. He just literally reads the paper, explains it to you, shows you a couple of diagrams, maybe some illustrations, some actual like proper Google Drive straight from the lab stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's sick. That's sick.
yeah, honestly, like some of the best stuff, and he explains it so well, so you just understand what they're saying. So then, obviously, he was telling South Africa was like, "You might need to chill. Like, we're getting papers coming out soon. Just like give us some time." Then it came to these countries, all of them panicked and started locking down left, right, center. Now the UK is seeing that it is much milder, and that so it doesn't make sense to lock down and have the economic damage that they're saying that lockdowns have caused, and it hasn't been sometimes not even worth doing lockdowns in general. So then Ontario recently decided with 85% vaccination rates, we're closing the thing down.
Yeah, this is
Garbage.
including up like everyone up until I think no statistics. I can't remember statistics. I'm not even gonna go for it. What I know is the 83% one. Yeah. I was watching what's it called, Jordan Peterson's Twitter. Obviously, you know me, I love Jordan Peterson, and he was just like unbelievable. He was hella pissed because they just announced after most people are vaccinated. Omicron looks a bit like it's mild. They were like, yeah, we're gonna do a 21 day. They start off like, oh yeah, 21 day, just like last time. 21-day lockdown, cause
You're
gym,
already
no
used to it.
gyms. I think it was like five. If outdoors only 10 people,
They closed
indoors
the clubs, they
5.
closed everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some just regular
Okay.
lockdown, like Plan B type shit, man. I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
like, again, not again. It's peak for Ontario. What's UK saying? I haven't been looking too much. I've been looking at.
UK, Boris I was like, listen, roll with it, boys. We're gonna take this one on the chin. We actually can't do it
Yeah.
no more. We were throwing Christmas parties during the heat when it was deep. Back in the Parliament, we were throwing hella Christmas parties. We can't really tell you guys not to do it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what,
I
what,
think
what
Like,
do
do
you
what
guys
you want.
think? What do you guys think? Should we do more lockdowns or nah? Like enough now, enough. Come on.
I think right now lockdowns have simply became unnecessary. We've done everything you've asked us to do. Get the vaccines. Got the vaccines. We've went through those lockdowns you previously told us to go through. You said that this will be irreversible. Boris's fucking words.
Yeah.
And every time, I'm just like, maybe he's telling the truth this time. I
Yeah.
guess he kind of was now, but not really.
They
'cause
make
the
us cling to
family-
hope, though, innit? They make us cling to that hope, like please.
Yeah, please don't do it. No, again. So then, like, what more do you require of us? And for me, the issue was every single time it seemed like they were downgrading how good this vaccine was. Like at first, I remember when we right at the beginning, yeah, when we did vaccines on a general thing, it was a one dose. You hit the vaccine and you're calm. Then they said it's gonna be the flu thing and a yearly thing. We were like, calm. 2 dose, boys, 2 dose. We're like, all right, all
Oh,
right.
sorry. Go on. Sorry, finish off.
Yeah, they were like, all right, 2 doses, all right, okay, calm. I was like, I've already gave back concessions. You can still get COVID though. What the fuck? All right, okay. You can still spread it. What the fuck? So what am I getting from this thing? It just reduces the severity. So you're telling me man had to the vaccine went this 10 levels down, and all it reduces now is severity, yeah? Because that's what they're saying. That's
Yeah.
majority of it, and maybe it reduces infection, spread of infection by a bit. And then now you're thinking, okay, all of that has now been, you downgraded it, bears. And we're still gonna go into lockdown. Fuck off, bruv. You're taking a
They
piss.
want the subscription
And then
plan.
they're like, also do a third of boost on top.
They want the subscription plan, bro. They want the subscription plan. I'm telling you. Like,
bro-
they're from Amazon. They were like, oh, Amazon became big. How did they do that?
Bro, did anyone do testing on this whole third booster, fourth booster? Did anyone actually test? Because I know we all did test on the two, the two things. The clinical trials was all on the two. If we get one after the other, like after 2 weeks, they did clinical trials on that. No one did. Did people do trials on the 3? On the booster thing? How do we know that's not going to be bad for you?
Yeah, I think they said they did, but
I hope so.
I
I hope so. I just hope so because
Well, the number in Canada, the statistic of 83% is included. Like it's a third time they take it, so it's included the booster. It's not just 2 doses. It's
they've already done that many people.
already done. I think the majority,
Oh,
the majority
okay.
of that number, I think it's specifically 78% of the 73%. So it's like 5% that has not taken the booster.
I
Yeah, in
think they're
Canada
actually
they
quite
follow
slow.
it. They follow in line, bro. They listen to what you say.
Yeah.
and imagine the
Someone I
guys
work with in
following it are
Greece
the only
said the
niggas in lockdown right now.
So what do you say, Dobby? Say again.
Someone I work with in Greece has had his booster as well. So I think we're just behind. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh no, bro! The UK is far ahead. I think nearly
Boosters.
boosters, 80 to 90% of the older people have, I think,
Oh,
over
yeah,
60s
yeah.
have
Older,
taken
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Over 50s have taken it. I was told to get the booster 2 weeks ago, but I'm like, bro, chill, bro, and I'm not gonna be taking the booster on top of
We're
this
waiting
now.
until it's mandatory. Once they fly in again, that's
You
what
are
we're getting.
violating now, bro. Every time I conform, yeah, they just keep adding shit on top, fam.
Shit, fam. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, you know me. I'm chilling out here, so
I was like, bro.
Wait, how did you get on the plane suit?
they blessed it. They blessed it.
What?
Nah, you had to PCR testing. You had to do.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
No. I didn't do any testing. No.
Nah, bullshit.
No. To get back in, he will need to.
Yeah, to get back in, I would have to. Yeah.
They just want him out of the country, innit?
And because he has no vaccine, it's more expensive for him.
Yeah, they charge me an extra £15. The cunts.
Oh, that's not the worst. I thought it was worse than that.
No. Who told you that? Who told you that?
My brother, he just came from Sweden, fam.
Nah. Extra £15. There's no extra £15. Even the first thing ain't £15. So
No,
you
the
need to
first
get.
one. The first one, I'm gonna book it soon. It's €35, so whatever the fuck that is equivalent. £30 maybe, £32.
He's confused, bro. That's so you're confused, bro.
And then there's two more I have to take. I have to take the day 2 and the day 8, and they're both £15 each. So that's 30.
15 from who, bro? Do you know that there's from who told you 15?
Fam, I saw somewhere. I was googling.
Bro, they lied to you. 15.
Is it like 90, 80?
Bro, it's very expensive. I remember paying 45 just for the day 2. Just for the day 2. 45.
I think they reduced the prices, fam. I think deflation, price.
And you know what? Why they violate? These guys. You know why they violate? Actually, back in the day, earlier when they have the day 2 and the day 8, it was £200. It was £200.
Yeah, they used to violate.
£200, and you had to go to. You can't get a PCR from anywhere. You have to go to the approved clinic, so they made extra fee. Yeah, because every approved clinic has hiked up their prices.
Fam, this is price gouging. What's going on? This is legal.
Legal price gouging. It's all the boys, fam. It's Boris's boys.
Oh yeah, Boris and the man.
Boris's boys. Why are you testing people who are vaccinated? I'm already in the country. And you know that day 2 test and the day 8 test, they don't care if you take it afterwards. They don't care. You just have to pay for it to get into the country.
Fam, 100%. 100%. They don't give a fuck if you take it, bro. You just She came in. He was there. It came late. The test arrived late. It came late.
And they don't care if you do it. They make the money. When I saw that, bro, I actually died, because I was like, yo, ain't nobody hassling me, because I was a couple of days late on a day. Nobody be hassling me, bro. What's this?
They don't give a fuck. They just
didn't care.
hey, you got your money, fuck off.
Bro, as long as I paid for it, they were like, you know what, it's calm. And so, because from when I'm coming back from Budapest, I have to do the day 2 test. I know it's going to be about £40 or something, but because I'm vaccinated, I don't have to do the day 8.
There's a lot of tests going around. What's going on? I'm so glad I haven't travelled during those conditions.
Yeah, no, it says 43 to £80. Oh my days, fam.
Just
43
for the
to 80, depending on where they force it,
Bro, I'll give you the place I go to, because the place I go to is the cheapest.
Just get the fake ones.
Send that cheap thing, fam. Fuck
yeah,
this man just robbing your money, fam. They rob your money with inflation. They rob the money, fam. This is fam. Stop money.
The farmer be ruining the money, bro.
That's capitalism. You got to get in the game.
To be honest,
the people below
you respect it. You're right.
Being a prime minister is actually a career thing. It's like you're a businessman. You're a businessman. And then
maybe we should move on. It's been like 40 minutes on the COVID. So mashallah.
This is a COVID episode, bro. We're cutting it after this.
Yeah, this was a COVID episode. We'll just quickly mention.
Actually, fuck it. Let's drop some more COVID stuff, because I've been seeing some crazy shit, fam.
We'll quickly drop. So McDonald's machines in Israel won't give you food if you ain't got a COVID pass.
Wait,
they won't give you food, bro, if you ain't got a COVID pass.
There's a McDonald's machine as well. What is that?
Yeah, fam, it's the machine. You got, fam, did you watch the
You're the machine.
No.
Oh, we can watch it now.
You walk up to the thing, you press it.
I beg we watch it.
We're watching it right now. Yeah, if you can, bro, we can watch the thing now. Let me.
Fam, it's insane. And then afterwards, if you want, we can talk about Kazakhstan. Have you guys been watching those videos? Fam, they entered the building and they took over the government. They took over the whole thing.
Bro, the first video you sent where there was like 100 military just storming like 10 guys. I was like, well, there's no hope. And then the second video, they're getting kicked out their own cars. Like, what's going on?
It's going crazier. I've been watching it live. I was watching it live today. Okay. They've literally taken over the entire government buildings. They've lit the old president's office on fire.
And this is COVID related.
Yeah, fam. They were beefing. They were beefing because of the COVID.
Can you guys see it?
Oh, because of lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you boys see it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And mandates as well.
Okay.
All right, I'm playing it now.
I think that's what everybody mandates.
We are at McDonald's in the big fashion mall. And here's what happens. When you want to place your order on this screen over here,
it's one of these.
The way it works is like this.
Yeah.
Click English.
English.
And now it says, in order to proceed with the order, you must confirm that you have a valid green certificate of your order. So let's say you don't have one. You click don't have. Look at that. It blanks out the screen. So basically, if you don't have a green
I have. God, you just click I have.
Oh, I guess there's a barcode thing that you need to scan.
Oh,
I reckon.
Yeah, you have to have a
They also
barcode
showed
and that's
it.
attached to your ID. And also, if you don't get the booster, they will revoke that green pass. So, you know what I'm saying?
So
Right,
you
okay.
so you actually have to go hungry, you know.
No, you don't have to go
options.
hungry. It's McDonald's, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe there's other shops that
McDonald's
allow
are
you.
nothing,
But
bro.
No,
What
but
you
you know what? That's actually mad. You know,
yeah.
raw,
2021,
bro.
2022. Shit. Oh shit.
But this is
Well,
what I
at
mean
the
by the
start
whole.
of it, we will... No, go
But
on.
this is what I was talking about, the mandating of the vaccine. I never agreed with that from the get go. But
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone. I mean, I don't know. I do know some people that do agree. Actually, I do know some.
But it was small shit at the start. So we're like, you know what? We'll just allow this one. And then there was another bit, and we're like, you know what? We'll just allow this as well.
and
And
it's
then
too late,
by the
fam.
time
We
you
allowed
know,
it too
locked
many.
down. I know.
One step at a
Now
time. One
McDonald's
step at a
won't
time.
serve you.